Hello everyone, my name is Triton Perrin and I'm here bringing you a video about life and death in the corner. This is going to be a fairly simple video where I'm going over 3 different principles to help you figure out life and death in the corner. The reason I decided to make this video is because I learned these 3 principles and about dead groups and live groups in the corner, and I was about 10Q when I learned them. I am now about 3Q, and I am still seeing people make the same mistakes or not punishing someone for leaving out a move that they needed to make that group alive. So I'm going to go over 2 different groups here. And the first one I'm going to go over, I'm going to walk you through the different principles. So this is the first group. I'm pretty sure most people have seen this group before. This is called the L group. And a lot of people know that this is supposed to be dead if it doesn't have a way out. You will probably never see the L group in this specific situation in a game because this is very much clean cut and extremely obvious. But you might see it with a few stones reaching out into the center. If it ever gets surrounded, though, it is dead. I have seen many people forget about this fact and let black get 2 moves in the corner to make it alive, or they just failed killing it. So the very first principle that I want to go over is reducing the eye space from the outside. I'm giving black the first move here because it doesn't matter if black goes first or if white goes first. So let's say black plays this to expand his eye space. The very first move that you should think about is playing from the outside to reduce the eye space on the inside. In this case, if black responds, you can play the vital point because this is the bulky 5 shape, and black is dead. It's also the same if black plays on this side. You can Hane and kill. There is actually a proverb that says death is in the Hane, and that's something you can also think about here. So now that you have learned now that you've seen the first principle, let's think of a different principle. Let's say black plays A18. This seems like the best move because it seems like black just needs 1 more move to make life. If we just think about that first principle and try to Hane to kill somehow, it just doesn't work because it doesn't matter where white plays in here, it's going to be alive. And it's the same if he tries to play on this side, but there's just nothing that he can do, and this group's just alive. So this is where the other principle comes into play. The other principle is that the 1, 2, and the 2, 1 points are Miai. So these 2 points here. If one is played by your opponent, then you should think about playing the other one. So in this case, white should play here. If black blocks him from connecting, you can now reduce from the outside and kill. All right, so now let's take a quick look at the third principle here. The third principle is about playing where your opponent wants to play. In this situation, you want to think about reducing from the outside first. If you reduce this way, your black will play here and will be alive. So you can't do that. If you reduce this way, however, black has to block. And now comes in playing where your opponent wants to play. Because if you reduce from the outside, it's alive again. If you play one of the 2, 1, 1, 2 points, he's alive again. So now you want to play the point that he really wants to play, which is the vital point here. If he blocks you from connecting, you just kill his group. If he makes an eye in the corner, you connect up to your other group. So these 3 principles that you want to remember are as follows. Number 1, reduce the eye space from the outside. Number 2, the 2, 1, and 1, 2 points are Miai. And number 3, play where your opponent wants to play. If you think of those 3 things while doing a simple life and death problem, you should be able to figure out the status of a group. This group here is called the J group, and it is alive if black plays first. But if white plays first, it is dead. In this situation, it's white's turn. So you should pause the video and try to figure it out for yourself right now. If you didn't pause the video, then I'm going to keep going and show you how to apply the principles to kill this group. The very first principle, again, reduce the eye space from the outside. When he responds, he played a 2-1 or 1-2 point, so you should play the other one. They're mi. So right now is the tricky part. It seems like you might want to play a move like S18 or try to figure something out on the inside again. However, the very first principle comes into play right now. You want to reduce from the outside. It doesn't seem like you can, but if you drop down here, you are threatening to Atari the S15 stone and reduce the eye space. So now, Black will try to make 2 eyes here. If you do Atari the stone now, he just makes an eye. So this is where he wants to play. So now, you should play that move. That's the third principle. Play where your opponent wants to play. If he connects, the group is dead, so he can't connect. So he has to capture the stone, and then you can Atari, and he doesn't have 2 eyes anymore. There are other variations that you can look at. However, you should go and look at them on your own and try to read them out yourself. I will leave a link in the description to a resource that can tell you about these different shapes in the corner. This is all I really wanted to discuss in this video. I know that this didn't have too many different variations, and hopefully you learned something that you didn't know before. Always remember though, just because you know this specific sequence in killing the J group does not mean that your opponent is going to play these exact moves. So if they deviate, you just have to think, well, what should I play next? All you have to do is read out the situations and figure it out for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Thank you for checking out my video, and see you later.